Picture two apartments located in the same city, in the same neighborhood, with nearly identical monthly rent, very similar surroundings, and lives that look almost the same from the outside. From the outside, absolutely nothing looks unusual, and at first glance their lives appear almost exactly the same to anyone who happens to be passing by on the street. The first apartment belongs to someone earning about $95,000 every single year, a salary that sounds strong, genuinely comfortable, and financially more than sufficient for a good life. Walk inside, and immediately you notice a massive 75-inch television mounted across the living room wall, completely dominating the entire space and drawing attention the moment you enter. Next to that enormous television sits a large leather sectional sofa that cost almost $4,000, filling most of the living room with its sheer size and presence. The kitchen also appears very impressive at first glance, filled with modern appliances and expensive gadgets of every kind. Closets overflow with clothing, shoes, and accessories scattered in every direction you look, many items still carrying their original price tags from the very day they were first purchased. Even the spare bedroom has slowly and quietly turned into overflow storage space over time, filled with boxes and unused items that have simply not been touched in years. Despite all these possessions filling every corner of the apartment, the owner checks their bank account regularly with a constant knot in their stomach and ever-growing financial anxiety. In reality, they are only two missed paychecks away from serious and immediate financial trouble that could quickly and permanently disrupt every single aspect of their current daily lifestyle. Now picture another apartment located in the exact same neighborhood on the same street, owned by someone earning just $52,000 per year, a much lower income. When you walk into this apartment for the first time, the very first thing you notice is open space, genuine calmness, and a quiet sense of simplicity. The living room contains a modest couch and a reasonably sized television, nothing flashy or expensive, but everything is clean, well organized, fully functional, and very thoughtfully arranged throughout. The kitchen contains only the tools and appliances that are actually used on a regular daily basis, completely free of unnecessary gadgets, clutter, or anything that serves no real purpose. The closet holds noticeably fewer clothes overall, but every single item inside is worn on a regular basis and serves a clear and intentional purpose in everyday daily life. The spare bedroom is exactly what a spare bedroom should always be, a clean and functional room that is genuinely used instead of slowly becoming an overflow storage area. This person checks their bank account calmly and without any trace of stress or anxiety, always feeling genuinely and deeply secure about both their current financial situation and their future. They have carefully and patiently built up savings that comfortably cover roughly 18 full months of their normal living expenses, and they also consistently invest about 20% of every single paycheck they receive, steadily and patiently building long-term financial stability and growing personal wealth with every passing month. Same neighborhood, same street, and very similar monthly rent. Yet this significantly lower income earner has built far greater financial security and genuine lasting peace of mind over time. Instead, it is really about the hidden and often invisible relationship between money, possessions, and the everyday lifestyle decisions that quietly but powerfully shape your entire financial future over time. The first person is not being reckless with money or making obviously terrible financial mistakes that any outside observer could easily identify and point to in their daily spending habits. They simply allowed their lifestyle to grow over time until it eventually consumed nearly every single dollar they earned each month just to maintain and sustain it. The second person discovered something truly powerful and life-changing that completely and permanently shifted the entire way they think about money. They came to realize that choosing to own fewer things does not in any way mean living a worse, less comfortable, or less fulfilling life than the people around them. Instead, it means making the conscious daily choice to live intentionally and to focus only on the things that truly and meaningfully add real lasting value to everyday life. And that simple but deeply intentional way of living quietly creates genuine financial breathing room and personal freedom that many high-income earners living nearby never actually get to experience. Today, we are going to carefully explore the core minimalist money rules that clearly and consistently separate people who always seem to have money from those who constantly find themselves struggling. These rules are not about personal deprivation or painful sacrifice, but about developing a deep and genuine understanding of the true and complete cost of everything you choose to own. They are about learning to recognize that every single object you bring into your life carries ongoing real-world responsibilities and significant long-term financial consequences. Let me introduce a simple but genuinely powerful concept that has the ability to completely change the way you approach and think about every single purchase decision you make going forward. Everything you choose to own actually ends up costing you money twice over the course of time, not just the initial price you paid when you first decided to buy it. The first cost is completely obvious, straightforward, and very easy for anyone to understand. It is simply the purchase price printed clearly on the receipt at the point of sale. But there's also a second ongoing and recurring cost attached to ownership that many people completely overlook or simply choose to ignore entirely when they are buying something new and exciting. This hidden second cost quietly and consistently includes storage space requirements, ongoing maintenance needs, the mental energy required to manage everything, and the lost investment opportunities that silently disappear over time. Take something as seemingly simple and practical as a treadmill sitting somewhere inside your home, taking up valuable floor space and quietly costing you real money every single day. Genuinely feels like a smart, practical, and useful purchase that will meaningfully improve both your physical health and your overall quality of life. But in quiet reality, that treadmill continues costing you real and measurable money every single year, that it simply sits and occupies valuable living space inside your home. Living space in most cities and towns costs real money calculated per square foot on an annual basis, which makes any unused or wasted floor space consistently expensive over time. A treadmill typically occupies a significant and meaningful amount of floor space inside your home, steadily and silently increasing your hidden living costs far more than most people ever stop to realize. That means you could realistically and quite easily be paying several hundreds of dollars every single year simply to store a piece of equipment that perhaps never actually gets used. In many households across the country, the treadmill quietly becomes nothing more than an expensive equals place to hang clothes rather than ever being used for exercise. Storage space alone. There are always other ongoing financial expenses quietly attached to everything that you decide to purchase and own. Maintenance and upkeep quietly drain your available money over time through unexpected repair bills, regular cleaning requirements, routine servicing costs, and the eventual unavoidable need for full replacements. Think carefully about a boat sitting completely unused in someone's driveway for long stretches of time throughout the year, barely ever being taken out and put in the water. It requires regular cleaning sessions, careful seasonal preparation, continuous insurance coverage, annual registration fees, and frequent mechanical repairs even when it is rarely or almost never actually used. Experts in the marine industry widely estimate that total ongoing maintenance costs alone can easily reach about 10% of the boat's full original purchase value every year. A $30,000 boat sitting quietly in your driveway may therefore cost you roughly $3,000 every single year in ongoing maintenance costs alone. And that steady and unavoidable maintenance cost continues accumulating and adding up every year regardless of how frequently the boat actually gets taken out and used. There is yet another significant and often completely overlooked hidden cost attached to ownership that most people almost never stop to consciously think or talk about in any meaningful or serious way. Every single object you choose to own quietly occupies a small but very real and measurable portion of your mental attention and cognitive energy, even when it sits completely unused. Every item you own must be regularly cleaned, properly organized, maintained, and will eventually and inevitably need to be either fully replaced or carefully and deliberately removed from your living space. Independent researchers who have studied home environments extensively have found that physical household clutter measurably and reliably increases stress levels and reduces mental clarity in the people living around it. A cluttered living environment has been shown to actively make it significantly harder for your brain to focus properly and has been proven to meaningfully reduce your possessions may quite literally be draining your mental energy reserves and quietly stressing you out every single day without you ever consciously noticing or fully realizing the ongoing impact. There is still one final and deeply important hidden cost that you should always take time to consider carefully before making any significant purchase decision anywhere in your financial life. Every single dollar you choose to spend on physical possessions today is permanently and irreversibly one less dollar that could otherwise be actively working and quietly growing for your financial future. Imagine making the deliberate choice to spend $15,000 on all the necessary equipment and setup costs, required to build a fully equipped dedicated home gym inside your house. That exact same $15,000 carefully and consistently invested, instead, could grow substantially over many years through the power of compounding and ultimately help create the financial freedom you want. You did not simply buy gym equipment with that money. You made a permanent choice to spend it instead of allowing it to become long-term financial